So my name is Krista, and I come from SAP. I'm the head of digital customer engagement there, and I deliver scalable, game-changing digital experiences directly to SAP's cloud customers through Tech Touch, as well as indirectly to other customer segments as well through the CSMs. So I'm here today to share some of my experiences from the enterprise world and how you can scale your customer success with Digital Engagement Center. But I'm really here to open the conversation with you, and it's been great to meet so many of you outside. And if you haven't connected with me yet, please do so, because I would really like to learn from where you are and share from what I learned and learn from what you've learned so far. I'm very passionate about customer success, and this is how a passionate Finnish person looks like. And that's the accent as well there. And the next 30 minutes, I'm going to first introduce you to SAP shortly, and then talk about the enterprise challenge, go into a roadmap to scale, and as well as show you an example from last year. So SAP helps the world run better and improves people's lives. We are the world leader in enterprise applications in terms of software and software-related service revenue. And we have 378,000 plus customers in more than 180 countries. We have 41 state-of-the-art data centers around the world and 150 million subscribers in our cloud base. SAP is a cloud company driven by SAP HANA in-memory technology. We offer cloud apps for all lines of businesses. We have a market-leading cloud platform and a flexible on-demand infrastructure. And here you can see a fully integrated SAP cloud ecosystem. This is a list of SAP's cloud products and SAP's line of businesses. And I'm showing this to you as a start to the conversation that we're going to open now about how to scale. And maybe do you have any ideas what kind of challenges could this environment introduce to digital engagement? True. Siloed behavior. It's a really great portfolio. That's one thing for sure. But yes, it does introduce some challenges when you're trying to do something central. And that's what we're going to talk about now. So let's have a look into a life of an enterprise customer success manager. So this is Suzy, and she's not happy as most of her time is really spent on sending emails to customers. She's in charge of customers using many various SAP solutions, and what she's doing is looking for the content, spending time looking for it, as well as sometimes creating that content herself. We asked her what would she like to do instead. She would like to spend her time having valuable conversations with her customers about how to be successful with the SAP solutions. And in that way, she would know that adoption would happen, and she would be able to make her renewal targets. This is Nick. Nick is, Nick is the VP of Customer Success. His business is great, sales is growing, and he's happy. But he's struggling with his coverage. His team is supporting all sizes of deals and all sizes of customers. He knows that adding people is not going to be profitable in the long run. He's worried that the current situation is going to have a serious impact on his renewal targets. He's thinking, what if I could automate the obvious? All those emails and the content and get it to the right person at the right time. Let it be the customer or the CSM. I could manage my organization with less resources, and my CSMs could actually spend their time with activities that are related to their seniority and their skills. And I also would know that all my customers would be nurtured to a minimum level. So, to summarize this, SAP is not different from any other enterprise. The first topic was maturity. We have products that are in the different levels of maturity. Some products are pretty new, and we are figuring out how to take them to the market and how to be successful with these products. And some products have been on the market already for a while. We know already what to do with them. We have a lot of content available, maybe too much content available sometimes. It's hard to find the right content there. The second thing is that we have all sizes of customers at SAP. Some of the customers buy solutions from us for a few $1,000s, and some of them are buying solutions for double-digit millions of dollars. Your customer success managers and ours at SAP, they're all trying to do their best, but if we don't have any common nominators, everybody's recreating the wheel all the time. So it's important to have that common journey. And finally, what we have recognized is that specifically the tail of the customers, the amount of the small customers is growing. And the question is how to scale when 70% of your customers, the amount of the customers might come from a segment that's bringing possibly 20% of the revenues in. So that one is the challenging segment. So let's go through a few simplified steps to scale. And I'm not going to, I know that you've all gone through this pretty much already. So what I'm doing, I'm going to just point out a few things about what I have learned in the enterprise environment. So I'm not going to, the steps here, it's a roadmap, but I'm not going to go into more detail about each step, but just point out the enterprise challenge with each step. This is a quote that I really like. This is from Michael Feldman from Russell & Reynolds. Russell & Reynolds is a company that gathers trends and insights across industry and geographies for the leadership development. So what he's saying is that companies are not looking to build armies of services teams. Instead, they seek leaders who can productize customer success offerings and dynamically deliver high, moderate, and low touch interactions to the right customers at the right time. And I believe that this is the way for any size of a company to go ahead about their customer success. Okay, so step one, let's talk first about the customer journey. I bet you recognize somehow these illustrations. So about 2 years ago, when I started to read into the topic, I read Guy's book, Farm Don't Hunt. And I had our design team to create this illustration. And I opened my conversations with our customer success managers with this. I started to talk about the journey. Well, a lot of time has gone since then, and we have our journey pretty much defined. But what we also had to do, and this is what I think is important, I want to point out, because I know you all have been working on your journey already. But how does that journey look like from the customer? So we turned this journey around, and we said we created the journey that the customer gets to know what kind of journey are they on with us. So for all of our solutions, we actually created the customer journey that we send to the customers in the beginning so that they know they can relate to what we are doing. Of course, we evaluated this journey and we decided which ones are the most important touch points on this journey and where we can do automation. And we started with like about 5 touch points, and then we have increased it to about 20. We decided for these KPIs. So you have in the beginning, we want to make sure that 100% of our customers are getting provisioned. Of course, we want to make sure that 100% of them get onboarded in time. We are measuring the days to go live. We're trying to, of course, decrease those days. We're measuring the early adoption. So we'll look at when the customers go live. It depends really on the product and the complexity of the product, but let's say 3 months after the go live date, what have we reached? It would be nice if we would have 50% adoption, and if not, then we need to do something about it. And later on, we look at the general adoption. That is going on all the time after the 3 months. We're checking on the data touch points, and whenever an adoption has a discrepancy, we have to act on that. And either we act on that directly towards the customer with an email campaign, or we act on that through the CSM, depending on the touch that we define to that point. And towards the end here, renewal readiness and renewal. I'm going to talk about expansion on the next slide, but renewal readiness is something that I consider a super important point for what I do. Because if we do all of this correct, the renewal is going to happen. So you want to have your customers ready for renewal, and you can do that it depends on your subscription timelines, of course, but the latest you need to do is 6 months before. They need to be renewal ready, because 6 months is not such a long time to act anymore. So secure your data. In the enterprise environment, this is also sometimes a challenge, since you need to make sure that your account executives are indeed entering the data into the sales deals that you need. If you want to automate something towards your customers, you need to get that contact data. So you kind of have to be the advocate to talk to the different parts of the organization and say, hey, how come is it so important that when we have to change some of the practices we have right now? So when you close a deal, we're going to have to get this and this information from you so that we can do our work better. So you need to make sure that your CRM systems have information available for you. So about the expansion now. So what I have learned is that you have to take into consideration the privacy rules and communication rules with your customers. I would say you might want to consider a Chinese wall between everything that you do up to the point of renewal and that whole expansion story. Because what I like to say is that when you sign that contract with your customer, you are signing a mutual contract on being successful. So you want to be successful with your customer. And so when they're giving some contact information for you, you can use their, so to say, email contact stuff and send information to them without having an possibility to opt out. If they don't want to have those emails, they need to give somebody else as a contact person to you. Well, that's not valid for anything that has to do with expansion and upsell. Because when you're selling something to your customers, then they have to have a chance to opt out. So one possible scenario is that you keep your customer engagement in a product like Tango, and you do your rest of the on-demand generation in your Hypers marketing or other marketing solutions that you have. And then, of course, you need to make sure that you're collecting the usage data from all of your products. And seriously, this is another area that you need to start working on right now if you haven't done this yet in an enterprise. Because all those product teams that you saw there before, you need to convince them all about this, that this is important. And if there isn't usage data available yet, you have to start collecting it. Also that you can get some historical data on it. Because historical data is really important for your predictive stuff. And start like with the few touch points, with the few data points, and the ones that you have available for you. And when you learn more about your data, then start adding to it. Don't make it too complicated in the beginning and say, hey, I can do this because the data is not there. But do the ones you can, and preferably, do something in the beginning and do something in the end of the journey. So don't start by just going onboarding, tang, 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 and what's then? Go like onboarding and renewal readiness. Because that renewal readiness is so important. And with that one, you're going to get a buy-in. But you also want to do the ones in the beginning. But if you just go with the beginning and start moving towards the renewal readiness, it's going to get time before you get there. Create harmonized content. So we work together with customer marketing. Customer marketing creates content. They create all kinds of one-to-many materials, anything that we need. But the point here is that you saw the amount of line of businesses. We have to find a certain level of commonality between all of us. So we have to say, what's the minimum? What's the minimum that we can agree on? That this welcome letter that we are sending to all our customers, it's about the same. It can have more, but it cannot have less, Is this time from when I started or from when we started the... Okay. Set automation in place. Base your journey definitions per customer segment. Set up the system with goals for each campaign and link them to the created materials. And here you have a mixture of motions related to different customer segments. I have been spoken much slower than I was planning. Monitor and improve, that's clear. And I'm just going to go really fast and show you the organization that we have. We have global program managers. These are the people who are setting up these campaigns. They work together with customer marketing to pull all that content that we need. Creation with customer marketing for good videos, branded stuff, that everything is looking professional that we send to our customers. These are the guys who are setting up these campaigns in the system then for all the different line of businesses. And they're the ones who are monitoring them and providing information back to the line of business on how these programs are performing. This is the second team. This is the regional Tech Touch Hub. Customers might come back to you and ask you questions about these emails. You can have a regional hub for answering those first level questions in a Tech Touch mode. That's kind of like handling the SMBs. And then if this team cannot answer those questions in a Tech Touch mode, you can always bring them back into High Touch. But this team here is really never going to visit a customer or call a customer. They're trying to solve the problems with emails and resending stuff and so on. And then finally, somebody has to manage, of course, the technology environment that you have. Here are some results from our email campaigns in Q4. This was done. We started with this product. This product has 1,600 customers, and we started to automate them in October last year. And we started with a few triggers in October, and then we increased the number of triggers. And here you can see, like, we are sending, the green ones are the ones we are sending directly to the customers, and the orange ones are the ones that we are sending through the CSMs to the customers. So the CSMs didn't want us to send them directly. So they wanted to be the ones in control. So we gave them the control to send that email. We could automate that, but we didn't. We let them do that. So they feel like I know what I'm in charge of, and I'm doing this myself. So 1,347 emails triggered and 666 unique customers engaged. And the December here is explained because all the sales happen in the last month of the quarter. So it was a lot of onboarding and welcome here in December. It just really got more. Campaign performance has been great. 50% of the content that we send to our customers gets read, which is really good. Also, the customers seem to be forwarding these emails to their colleagues because we get more than 100% open rates. So one thing is like, make these really engaging. Don't settle for something okay-ish. Like, make really engaging campaigns. Change the look of them, If they always get the same format, it just gets boring. I'm going to skip this one and go to this. This is the customer survey results. 15% of the customers answered the survey we sent them after Q4. We wanted to understand how that one quarter did. It's a good result that 15 came back. Now, this is an interesting one because I was listening to the presentation before, and our emails have a lot of images in them. And I thought, well, I don't think they're going to like that so much, so let's ask them. Should we get rid of those images? Because I think that maybe just plain email would be better without so much pictures and banners and everything. So my plan was to get rid of those. Well, 70% of the customers liked those images in our case. So I got a surprise there. So we are keeping the images. And 66% thought that these emails came at the right time and had the right content for them. So this is really, really great results. They're very happy with this. And also, our customers are happy. My customers, those are the leaders of the customer success teams for those segments that are performing in low and high touch. Those are the customers to which we support them by sending stuff to them so that they can be successful. And then we have this lowest segment that we are performing ourselves. This is the tech touch segment. We're trying to self-serve them, and we are in charge of that segment, so to say. So finally, I was not going to leave Suzy and Nick unhappy. So here they are. They're very happy now. And finally, I say if we do our job well and we keep giving love to our customers from the beginning on, from the sign date on, not from the contract start date, from the sign date on, we onboard them, we let them have value from our solutions, give them love, and simply the renewals will come automatically from that. Thank you very much.